Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach lock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.
Nimbula, metangu nimilote na isoro tembua. Nama kia umena rua kina ona na veka vi moniti kina whakaromboka. Rongo mena via sana kina viva ka barota kini ndreko malolo. Ena radio Fiji 1 na buongani pia niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Tonight, National Airline changes its name from Air Pacific to Fiji Airways. LTA admits that authorities must share the blame for recent bus incidences. And Laisine Ngarase is a free man. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. Air Pacific officially becomes Fiji Airways as of tonight. The rebranding to its 1960s name is another major milestone for the national carrier, following the arrival of its A330 Airbus aircraft earlier this year. And as Christopher Chand reports, the airline is positioning itself for the future.
It's been an exciting year for the company, culminating in tonight's launch, a much anticipated event.
Well, tonight we're changing our name, so officially from tomorrow we won't be Fiji Airways coming soon, we're Fiji Airways.
The transition to Fiji Airways has already taken off. The company will reveal a number of new initiatives to coincide with the rebranding.
You've seen our planes, you've seen the new masse art on the livery. Tonight what we'll be revealing is other elements of our product, onboard amenities, some of our new things coming on, particularly the uniforms. And that's what we'll be revealing to everyone tonight, and new service routines, a lot of exciting things for our customers.
Everybody identifies with the Fijian brand or the Fiji brand. We now have Film Fiji, we have Investment Fiji, we have Tourism Fiji, and now we have Fiji Airways. So again, it's part and parcel of the Bainimarama government's holistic approach to branding Fiji.
The remaining aircraft in its fleet will be repainted, with a third Airbus to arrive in November. All this is a game changer as the airline competes in one of the toughest periods in the aviation history.
It is critical to ensure that we have a national carrier that survives, that financially does well, has financial discipline, appoints people on merit, and indeed puts in place policies and has a vision of longevity and durability.
Air Pacific shaped the airline industry for the last 42 years. We now say goodbye to the rainbow colors and welcome home the new Fiji Airways. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama is leading the first ever official Fijian government delegation to visit the Russian Federation. Bainimarama held talks with his Russian counterpart Dmitry Medvedev. Other delegation members will hold side meetings designed to foster relations in areas of trade, education and other areas of cooperation. The government says the meetings underline Fiji's robust foreign policy, which is aligned with other Pacific Island nations and seeks new opportunities beyond its traditional regional partners. It says the visit also demonstrates the expanding relationship between Fiji and Russia, since the two countries established diplomatic relations in 1974, and especially since an exchange of ambassadors in 2010. The Land Transport Authority has admitted that they and other stakeholders are to share the blame with bus companies for incidences involving buses. There have been several reports of buses involved in accidents and fires, with some proving fatal. Shireen Lata spoke to LTA Enforcement Manager Alfred Williame, who says more stringent measures must now be taken.
Memories of the bus fire that killed 12 people in Singatoka in 2008 are still fresh in the minds of many. Since then, there have been many other incidences. The most recent A bus bursting into flames on a busy Suva street. Bus companies have copped a lot of criticism, but authorities are now admitting they too could be blamed.
It comes down to probably to our inspection process, and also at the same time it's required, the bus operators are required to also maintain the buses in good condition. So it is expected for every stakeholder in this case to play their part, including the authority too.
While bus inspections happen annually, there is no expectancy as to how long a bus can service Fiji roads.
If it's capable to continue its service, then that depends on the vehicle examiner's inspection decision.
Officers are still trying to find what caused the fire in this Rewanga bus on Monday.
Investigation is still under process. At the moment, we cannot make any comment on that until we have a decision made at the end of the investigation.
According to Williame, they will continue to have consultations with bus companies, and random fleet checks will also take place to avoid any incidents of such nature in the future. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
The Rambi Island Council has been dissolved for allegedly not meeting targets set by the government. This was confirmed to FBC News by Salimoni Karusi of the Prime Minister's office. Karusi says the government and the council had an agreement for some work to be carried out, but this was not done. Harrier Christopher has been appointed the interim administrator of the council. According to Karusi, the government has worked hard to develop projects on the island, and everything will go to waste if the council members are not active. Karusi says this is why they dissolved the council and appointed an interim administrator. The former chairman of the council, Dr. Paula Vanualailai, could not be reached for a comment. The Suva High Court has discharged a case involving former Prime Minister Laisini Ngarase. Chanel Sivan explains the decision was made after the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption filed a nolle prosequi.
Ngarase was alleged to have fraudulently applied the extinct Matangali funds amounting to $3 million to Vanua Development Corporation Limited and later on to Pacific Connex Limited, which was owned by Balu Khan between December 2003 and September 2005. In court today, FICAC filed a nolle prosequi. This means FICAC does not want to continue the case against Ngarase.
I'm extremely happy, and my family is also very happy. And first of all, I'd like to thank God for the decision this morning. It was, of course, the right decision in my view. There's no more charge against me, so I've already served my sentence in the first case, and this one has been discharged, so I'm a free person.
Meanwhile, his co-accused Kenin Daquindraketi and Kalivati Bakani will reappear in court next month. Bakani and Daquindraketi face fraudulent conversion charges for allegedly having fraudulently applied a government grant of $1 million, which was dispersed to Vanua Development Corporation Limited through Native Land Trust Board as security for a loan by Pacific Connex Limited. Bakani and Daquindraketi told the court they needed time in getting financial records and locating missing documents relevant to the case. Judge Justice Bandara urged the lawyers to sort the issues out and indicate their position on the next court date, as the case has been dragging for many years. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Companies have been urged to self-regulate themselves and not always rely on the government to resolve their internal problems. All companies are bounded by the Employment Relations Promulgation and the Health and Safety Act. Therefore, the management needs to work together with its employees. Labour Minister Chone Usumate stressed these points while speaking to human resource managers in Suva today. Ritika Pratap reports.
Human resource managers were today reminded to work closely with all staff and create an environment that will enhance productivity. Chone Usumate says these managers should have the capability to resolve all issues.
If you have a grievance, if you have a dispute between two parties in an organization, the primary responsibility for resolving that dispute should not be government, which comes in, but the two parties themselves.
Stressing the importance of labor laws, Usumate says rather than management, unions and workers having an adverse relationship, they must work together to enhance occupational health and safety.
We believe that if you have good faith between unions, between workers and management, that they have the more likelihood of creating a more successful organization. And if we have successful private sector companies, they make more profit, they pay their workers well, and the whole country benefits.
Despite this, the Labour Compliance Unit is always on standby to investigate companies that do not abide by the laws.
And if they are persistent offenders, then there are penalties and things that we need to put in place. But ultimately, what we want to make sure is that companies understand the laws, labor laws, and they go out themselves and do it. There will always be those who are not following the rules and the laws. And if they are not following the rules and the laws, then the penalties and the other remedial action will have to be taken.
Those who attended today's workshop have been challenged to put to practice what's being said, with the hope that each organization will become independent and resourceful. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, LTA launches second round of awareness about dangers of jaywalking.
Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो FBC पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Police officers are questioning a 16-year-old student who allegedly raped a 7-year-old girl in a village in Nandi yesterday. The girl was playing with her friends when the student approached her, pulled her into the bushes, then allegedly raped her. The suspect fled when the girl's grandfather went looking for her. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says the incident allegedly occurred yesterday afternoon. Schools are now the main target in the fight against drug abuse. Marking World No Drugs Day today, awareness programs that's been running all week culminated in most schools around the country. Epelito Kawasa was part of celebrations at the Nasinu Muslim School today.
Children are the future. One of the key messages portrayed by the Nasinu Muslim School as it marked World No Drugs Day today.
I think we are targeting students mainly because they are our young ones, and some of them they are already into it. But then we see the responsibilities of parents, stakeholders, teachers, and even the communities. This is a battle that we have to all fight together.
This drug awareness program has been going on all week at the school, which saw a lot of contribution from students and teachers.
Students have taken part actively in this, and they have displayed dramas after dramas, poems, beautiful poems made up by students concerning drugs awareness.
For the students of Nasinu Muslim, they have learned a lot in this 1 week.
We hope that we can learn a lot as the program goes on, and we understand the things that drugs and child abuse affect our life from.
Any situations such as like you are being abused, report it to your friends, your teachers and elders and your parents. Say no to abuse.
Abuse can be prevented through sufficient awareness programs and good parental attachment, and also parents' assurance that they know the location of their children at all times.
Government has identified that schools are the best answer to ending violence against children, substance abuse and drugs abuse in Fiji. Epeli Tukuasa, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority has embarked on another campaign to educate the public on the negatives of jaywalking in cities and towns. Mika Longa reports the LTA is now taking the campaign to all parts of the country.
This is exactly what the LTA wants to end on our roads.
The first time we started off with this jaywalking exercise, the concentration or the focus was in Suva and the Central Division. Now we are moving across to the west, and we are going to shortly do that in the north. So in a couple of weeks from today, the jaywalk campaign will be all over Fiji.
The LTA isn't thinking of penalizing jaywalkers right now, but that doesn't mean people should take it lightly.
A part that is holding us back, because we want to see that we have provisions, more provisions, crossing provisions on the road. It's pretty unfair to to book people, to penalize people, because you don't really have the crossings or the number of crossings, which makes it a much more comfortable thing for you.
The LTA is talking to municipal councils for more crossings in their cities and towns.
You have a stretch of road and tell people crossing at a different spot. You can imagine the congestion. You can imagine the whole of the traffic on that particular road.
The LTA started its nationwide campaign in Singatoka on Saturday. Mikolonga, FBC News.
Sports is up next, and Elena, I hear the victorious Flying Fijians are back home.
That's right, Jackie, and they've brought with them the Pacific Nations Cup. We'll catch up with them after the break. Also tonight, the Fiji Rugby League side is all set and ready to defend their World Cup title. That and more after the break.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC Sports. The Flying Fijians, along with the Pacific Nations Cup, touched down in Nadi this morning. Fiji's success was more than coach Inoke Male could ever ask for. But if he wants to keep the momentum going, he's going to have to find a way to keep this winning team together for as long as possible.
Like every country, Fiji Rugby has always wanted to have its best players available for test matches. This group proved that point by bringing home the Pacific Nations Cup after very strong performances in Japan.
The commitment to all of the management and the players, especially our leadership. We've got a good leadership there with Gara and Saramembai leading the boys, and that really showed the outcome of the...
The Northern Tour is up next for Fiji. Then, the all-important 2015 World Cup qualifiers next year. And for team management, there'll be no time to waste when recalling players for national duty.
After this, the boys are going to go back to their own clubs. Some of these players are leaving tomorrow and some of next week. So we'll get in touch and we'll definitely send emails around to the boys for their availability during the Northern Tour.
While it's a timeout from the field for most of these reps, a certain winger is already heading for greener pastures.
Only Mbombo went to his new club and he signed his new contract with his new club in Japan.
The FBC sports team believes Bombo's new signing will be up until 2018. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
Also returning home today were the Fiji under-20s, who managed an 11th place finish at the Junior World Championship in France. While it wasn't their best performance, team management has drawn a lot of positives from the tour. They've now come to the conclusion that Fiji Rugby must put some serious thought into improving junior development.
2 weeks away from home for the first time and playing their very first international matches is a lot to learn from.
To sum it up, I guess the team performed, they were way below their full potential. We had been in front of Samoa in our 9th and 10th spot playoff, and then Samoa came back to beat us in the last 2 minutes.
Having a pathway is fine. However, compared to the bigger nations and Fiji's lackluster performance at the Junior World Championship, it's clear Fiji Rugby needs to put in a lot more effort into correcting bad habits at junior level first.
A lot of red cards, that was a disappointment. We had Sabra and Alala ruled out for 6 weeks. But, with disappointments and things, the team had to move on.
Fortunately for Fiji, we're still in the Junior World Championship. But the onus will now be on the Fiji Rugby Union development team to do the hard yards at secondary school level.
It's probably relooking at our competition model and everything that we have in place. We have systems in place, but there's a real need to support and also grow the systems.
Lessons learned all round for the baby flying Fijians, and hopefully towards a better outing next year. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Police Rugby League side is ready to defend its title at the Forces World Cup in England next week. And from what we've been told, they'll be sending their most experienced team to the tournament. Chalendo Dakavaka reports.
It was a fun-filled atmosphere at the Nassau grounds as the Police Rugby League team wrapped up preparations. The Samu Kunanitu-led side will defend their title at the Police Rugby League World Cup tournament in England next week. And although confidence is high, they remain wary of the challenge ahead.
It's not easy to defend. We know that the Australian and the New Zealand police will be gunning to beat us at this World Cup. But we are prepared. We are prepared for the game against our police counterparts around the world.
At least 5 players from the triumphant side of 2008 will form the backbone of the team, including 2008 player of the tournament, Atunaisa Turangaiviu.
Some Kunanitu had been identified who will lead the Police Rugby League World Cup in defending our status on the 4th of July, assisted by Atunaisa Turangaiviu.
The team will play against Australia and Great Britain in a round-robin format. The top 2 teams will play in the final on the 14th of next month. Chalendo Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
The national women's volleyball team played their first of 3 tests against the Wallace and Fortuna team at the Vodafone Arena last night. The match proved to be a good hit-out for our side as they prepare for the Pacific Mini-Games in September. Chalendau Dakavaka reports.
It has been a while since our national volleyball team has played a test match. The Wallace and Fortuna team provided a stiff challenge for Fiji.
I think Wallace and Fortuna is a great team. Wallace and Fortuna is a great women's team. The men's team is currently the champions in the region, both the Asian and the Pacific Games. And the women's team, they're quite a good team as well.
The Fiji team came out on top, winning 3 straight sets over their French territory counterparts. It was a good chance to blend in the young talent in the side.
But I thought in terms of the test today, considering that there's 7 new girls who made their debut today, and with 5 of the senior, I thought they did pretty well. But at the same time, there's still a lot of areas that we need to tighten up.
The Wallace and Fortuna women's team is currently on the mend to build on the reputation of their male counterparts.
In Wallace and Fortuna, we haven't got stadium, training, and I think today we were not efficient. So I hope it will be better for the rest of the competition.
The side will take on local women's clubs in the Maris tournament this weekend. Chalendo Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
That was your FBC Sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie for business.
A lot of interest has been shown by Pacific neighbours for trade with Fiji. This has been boosted with the removal of tariff on a number of goods for trade between MSG countries. Roland Garoy reports.
At the recent launch of the Exporter of the Year Awards, Trade Minister Ayaz Said Kayum highlighted that Vanuatu has reduced a number of their items from the high importation tariffs, with the lowest now at around 10%. Vanuatu is the smallest country within the Melanesian group, and trade with Fiji involves a lot of importation of Fiji goods, but there's hope this would expand.
We are concerned that we don't have very much to export to Fiji, Papua New Guinea, and it needs for us to sit down and look carefully at what we can do so that we can also benefit from this trade.
For the Solomon Islands, Fiji is an important trading partner, and this partnership is expected to grow stronger in the future.
Trade is the way to go. We must encourage trade, to create more employment, within the MSG region. And now it's about time for us to build the building blocks in ensuring that we have a good, fair trade.
Said Kayum says the Solomon Islands has far more items in their negative lists, and there's hope in the next few years it will diminish rapidly. There's a lot of potential for trade also with Papua New Guinea, and according to the Trade Minister, some Fijian manufacturers are already planning to build bigger factories because of this potential.
Australia and New Zealand remain the biggest trading partner with Pacific Island countries, but it's no doubt that with the revised MSG trade agreement, trade between MSG countries will continue its steady growth. Roland Koroy, FBC News.
Time for the weather girl now. How's things looking, Jen?
Hi, Jackie. To put it simply, it was rain over there and rain over here. Throw in some clouds in the Western Division, add one of those London cabs I've seen on our Suva roads lately, and you'd think we were in England. Temperatures now. Our chart here shows Ba with the highest at 32 degrees, with Nandi and Savasavu not too far behind at 29. Neighbour New Zealand, on the other hand, had to deal with freezing cold temperatures. Windy Wellington was a bone-chilling 9 degrees today. Moving on, tomorrow sees showers and clouds throughout the country. And finally, Timothy Bavo, you really caught our attention with this fantastic photo taken at Yangara in Tavor just yesterday. It brought back memories of that charming novel, Little House on the Prairie. To all of you sending in your photos, we appreciate the effort. Do keep watching to see yours on the big screen. Until you next see me, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And a quick look at the headlines. National Airline changes its name from Air Pacific to Fiji Airways. LTA admits the authorities must share the blame for recent bus incidences, and court discharges fraud case involving Laisini and Garase. To this week's poll question now, we ask, does Fiji Sevens have the right combination for the Rugby World Cup? To take part, visit www.fbc.com.fj. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. Bye for now.
Oh, kayak boro-boro cuma tahu dengan itu mam. Gua nggak usah nih lanangan itu mamu. Nimbula, ayaw Mr. Ben.
Ella ba?
Na magikiro manolo kinadio na bima taka monisi kina fangarumbuka.
Ella Bula FM. Number 2 and selling.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today's hit music. What's up?